You just copy first two columns, column A and column B, and paste it here in the next tab, that is EVT. Column C title is loss in bracket dollar in thousands, right? So we'll just convert the gain numbers into loss. How do I do so? Simple. I'll just put a minus sign before the gain number. If I put a minus sign before the gain number, then that becomes a loss, right? So you see how I have written, how I have converted the first negative gain into a loss. So when I say loss, the negative gain becomes positive, right? Negative gain is basically a loss. So basically what you have to do, you have to just change the sign. So put a minus sign before it, equals to minus sign B2. That will give you the value for C2. Is it clear? Press enter and then drag it for the rest of the values. Okay, is it done? So once this is done, just you need to drag it. That means autofill. That's it. So now we have loss instead of gain. So we have loss numbers. So minus gains are converted into loss. So these are basically, when I'm saying minus 477.84 is the gain, that basically means I have incurred a loss of 477.84. That's it. Come to column D, name it as rank and just give the rank. So first one will be first rank, then second rank, and so on. So you can just do it like this. First type 1 and 2 and then select both and just double click on the plus sign. So automatically it will give you the rank. Okay. Now, next column is E. Title is as likelihood. Title it as likelihood. Okay. Have typed likelihood. Now don't enter anything in that column as of now. Let me just fill up these things, that is U, B, and other things. Now come to H2, type U. I'll tell you what it means. First type U, and in I2 just type 160. Okay, done. Now what is this U? U is known as the threshold loss. Threshold loss. Say for example, it depends on the management to decide what they consider as the threshold for segregating the loss numbers into extreme loss or normal loss, right? So according to this data set, we have taken the threshold to be 160. That means any loss higher than 160 is considered to be extreme loss, right? But I'm not saying that this is VAR, that we will calculate. This is decided by the management, top management, and this is a predetermined number. So a threshold for a particular company could be $160 million loss, right? This is not a VAR. This is just a threshold to decide. Say they consider any loss higher than 160 as extreme loss, right? That's what it basically means. So threshold here taken is as 160. This is an arbitrary number taken, and it is generally decided by the chief risk officer will decide what should be the threshold for that particular organization, right? Next, write beta in H3 beta. This is the optimal value, but let us take it 40. Later on, I will find the optimal value. Now, first, let us start with an arbitrary value 40. Okay, so beta is equal to 40. 160, U is equal to 160, beta is equal to 40. This is an arbitrary value I have taken, but later on with using solver, we'll find out the optimal value, right? And then next in H4, right? This is called actually, this symbol is pronounced as JAI, ZAI. If you don't, may not find the symbol right away, just type JAI, JAI. This is pronounced at JAI. Okay. The optimal value is 0.43. Let us take some arbitrary value as 0.1. Generally, for financial data series, this value ranges from 0.1 to 0.4, right? Generally. And what is this? This is called the SAPE parameter. This is called SAPE parameter. SAPE parameter. This is called the SAPE parameter. When this JAI is equal to 0, then we say that distribution is normal. But in general, we do not find it to be 0, so it is not normal, correct? That means we'll have to apply the extreme value theory, or the distribution name is generalized Pareto distribution. Generalized Pareto distribution. That means extreme values of a distribution, extreme values of a particular distribution are different from the rest of the distribution. And these extreme values follow a particular distribution that is called generalized Pareto distribution, right? Okay. And in this distribution, beta is known as the scale parameter, and JAI is known as the SAPE parameter. The scale parameter means what? Higher the magnitude of the extreme values, more will be the beta value. That's it. That is why it is called scale parameter. And this is SAPE parameter. That means if it is normally distributed, this JAI will be 0. Otherwise, it generally tends to vary in between 0.1 to 0.4. Okay. So whatever it is. So these are the two things. Next, N. N is nothing but total number of scenarios. So N is 500 in this case, as we have seen. N is 500. Now, next type, N subscript U or underscore U. So this refers to number of losses which are more than the threshold loss. So how many losses do you have in this case, which is higher than or which are higher than 160? Can you tell me? Look at the data and tell me. You have already ranked now. See, 160 will be in between 156, 157.6 and 160.78. So more than 160, how many numbers are there? 22. Because the rank for 160.78 is 22. That means there are 22 loss numbers which are higher than 160. That's why NU, N underscore U is 22. Is this point clear to everyone? Yes or no? Clear? Okay. Next, right, confidence. So confidence level is, since it is extreme value, the regulators take a very close to 100% confidence level. So they take it as 99.9%, because the most extreme values or most extreme value will lie at the extreme point. So extreme point in the left side, this basically means what? It will be very close to 100%. So 99 point. So here we are going to calculate VAR at 99.9% confidence level, right? Now next type, just type VAR, then you type ES, and then you type sum of likelihood. Don't fill the numbers right away. We will be back on that. After confidence, just type VAR, then type ES. ES is same as ES full form is expected shortfall. ES full form is expected shortfall, which is conceptually same as conditional VAR. Expected shortfall or conditional VAR. So in this model, in this distribution, they use the term expected shortfall, which is same as conditional VAR, which we have learned before. Okay. And finally, just write sum of likelihood. We will fill these three columns or three cells later on. These three cells will fill later on. Okay, done till this point. Okay. Now come to this column E where you have typed likelihood. Now let us find the likelihood. So likelihood function, you can see this is the likelihood function. So we'll have to calculate the likelihood numbers and then you'll have to take a sum of that. Okay. So this is the function. This is the formula ln of 1 by beta into 1 plus xi into vi minus u, where vi is the loss and u is the threshold. Vi is the loss in a particular scenario, I, and u is the threshold, divided by beta whole to the power of minus 1 by xi minus 1. Okay, get it done while building a mod, right? So I have just used that formula here to calculate the likelihood. See the formula. I will just what we will do, I'll just increase the font size a little bit so that you can see the formula properly. Okay, so this is the formula. First enter the formula. Be careful with the absolute reference. Have you entered the formula? Could you enter? Be careful with the brackets and all, right, and absolute references, because you'll have to drag the formula. So drag it till 22 rank like this. So as you can see, we are not bothered about all the loss numbers. We are only bothered about those loss numbers which are in excess of the threshold that has been decided by the top management, especially the risk management team. Okay. Okay, done. Dragging is done. Now you come to this I10, where you have written sum of likelihood in H10. Just in I10, enter the formula. You want the sum of these likelihood functions. Okay, have you taken the sum? Done. Sum of E2 till E23. Yes or no? Sum is done. Are you getting the same sum? Minus 109.182. Yes, please confirm those who are doing it. Yes, is it done? Sum of likelihood. This sum. Select on this. And then after selecting, go to data. Then from data, go to solver. Right? So I want to maximize this sum. I want to maximize this sum. So I want to maximize this sum. So you should have this max button ticked, right? If it is not ticked already, ticked, you just tick max. So I want to maximize the value that is there in I10. But changing which values? Changing beta and xi. So beta is there in I3 and xi is there in I4. So I'm deleting it for you and doing it once more. So by changing these two, okay, by changing these two, done. Set the objective as I10. I10 needs to be maximized by changing I3 and I4. That's it. Then you click on solve. So solver has found a solution. So the ideal parameter is, or ideal parameters are, beta is equal to 32.53 and xi is equal to 0.436246. So we started with 40 and 0.1, but the optimal value. Now, once you have got this, now come to I8 and calculate var. See, I have already given the formula for var. This is the formula for var. Var is equal to u plus beta by xi, then n by nu into 1 minus q. Q is nothing but the confidence level, whole to the power of minus xi minus 1. Okay, so that's the formula I have used. Just enter the formula to arrive at var. Okay, got it. Got the var number. It should be this much. Are you getting this? So once you have got var, then calculate the conditional var or expected shortfall using the formula. This is the formula. You can see in down it's written. Expected shortfall is equal to var plus beta minus xi into u whole divided by 1 minus xi, right? So that's the formula I have used here. Is it done? Expected shortfall or conditional var? The same answer, 774.7694. Okay, good. So now this is how we calculate var and conditional var using extreme value theory or following generalized Pareto distribution.